Well, once upon a time, it was the job of state government bureaucrats to run the hospitals, schools, policy, keep the trains running on time. Well, not anymore. According to a bombshell report in the Australian Financial Review, senior New South Wales public servants are campaigning for a national immigration plan, which would see 2 million skilled migrants brought in over the next 5 years, they say, to help fix labour shortages. Now, under the plan handed to New South Wales Premier Dominic Perrottet by the Department of Premier and Cabinet, net migration would surge to more than 400,000 people a year. Now, that's equivalent to adding a city the size of Canberra every 12 months. Dick Smith is one of this country's great entrepreneurs and philanthropists, a very, very prominent businessman too, and he's an ardent opponent of the big Australia lobby. He joins me now from Sydney. Dick Smith, thank you for your time. 400,000 people in
Peta.
1 year, practically speaking. What would that do to our country?
Well, it's ridiculous. It depends how long it stays for. Consider the long-term average immigration has been about 80,000 per year, and that's given us the fantastic country we are now. To go to 400,000, it would take us to that 100 million population figure, and no one wants 100 million. It's an arid country. We'd be crazy to go to that size.
How does this happen? You know, this is pushed constantly by the bureaucracy. I know from my time in Canberra, it was lazy growth. We see it there with New South Wales. Just keep bringing the migrants in. The numbers will look good in an economic sense, but per capita, GDP per capita, it doesn't work, and people end up feeling worse off. They feel poorer, and they live with the consequences of infrastructure that's not fit for purpose according to the population. Why can't we have a sensible population debate and plan?
It's going to be very hard because the bureaucrats all go to the same universities where the economics department teaches growth. They never actually use the true words eternal or compound growth, and that's what's happening. So all of these bureaucrats just keep talking about growth. If it was growth per head, it would be okay, but it isn't. As you mentioned, per person, we're actually got less growth. What we need to do is to move to growth from efficiencies, from improving productivity, not having more and more people.
So you wouldn't run a business without a business plan. How do we have a country without a population plan?
Absolutely right. No one's game to have a population plan. If one of the parties did, I reckon if Labor said we're going to have a population plan and we're not going to go more than 30 million people, we could do that, by the way, by bringing the immigration to about 80,000 a year. Now, if they had a population plan, from when I talk to my friends, 8 out of 10 want to have a population plan. They don't want to see an Australia of 100 million where probably 20 million never have a proper job. So what we need is one of the political parties to bring in a plan that most people would support.
I guess the issue is here, they're talking about skilled labour coming in. Why aren't we skilling up our own people? Why do we have to import 2 million people? Can't we grow those jobs in Australia?
It's the easy way out. It's hard to skill your own people and to train them, and that's one of the problems. Also, there are many Australians who just don't want to work in some of these, what you'd call menial jobs, picking fruit, even working in coffee shops and so forth. That's a real pity. We need a leader, a Prime Minister, who should be saying to all Aussies, hey, take any job you can. It's so important for our country. By bringing people in from overseas, we're sharing that wealth with more and more people. So basically, everyone other than the really wealthy, everyone else gets less.
Don't we have, with this plan, if you bring in all of these people, these 2 million people, at the same time as we've got automation and we're losing a lot of unskilled jobs for school leavers and other people who haven't got a university education, won't they collide at the same time and lift our unemployment rate?
Yes, they will. And so what's quite clear about bringing in a huge number of people is it benefits the wealthy like me, it benefits the billionaires, but typical Australians, it doesn't benefit. We shouldn't be doing it. We should bring the immigration level down to a normal level. We should be training our own people. But if you're a boss, it's hard work to train someone. It's so much easier just to bring them in from overseas, and that's what's happening.
Well, poll after poll, this is Labor, Green and Liberal voters. They say we want migration, but we support it at sensible levels. We're sick of sitting in traffic and not getting a bed in a hospital. Why are the politicians so scared to have a rational debate with the public who are clamouring for that debate?
I wish I knew. I mean, I think you've probably got as good an idea as I have, but I think it is because the wealthy, the ones who are financing the political parties, Jay, they just want eternal growth. If you're a billionaire, 10 billion or 12 billion is not enough. You just want more money. And that's what it's all about. It's about the wealthy saying we need more people so we can make more money. It's just utter, complete greed.
Well, you've talked a lot of sense tonight. Dick Smith, always good to talk to you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Peter. Good to talk to you again.